It has been a long 8 years. So many of you have known and heard Father Ryan's vocation story. As his mother, I also have a story about a vocation as a mother of a seminarian, a deacon, and now a priest. In high school, when he came to us and told us he was being called to the priesthood, we heard him and then we ignored him. We didn't have priests in our family, and we didn't understand what it meant to discern a call to the priesthood. When he enrolled in St. Thomas freshman year, we didn't allow him to enter St. John Vianney Seminary, simply because we did not know what it meant to discern. That first semester, Ryan was so unhappy. He would come home every weekend and beg us not to take him back. I felt hopeless, but with the cost of St. Thomas, I basically said, you have no choice, you have to go back. Around November, he came to us asking us to meet with Father Bloom, the vocations director, and we did. Our eyes were totally opened. If I'm being honest, I thought of the seminary as a scene from Spaceship Earth at Epcot, where the monk is sitting there, head on the desk, reading and writing all day long. In my mind, that is what seminary was. My understanding couldn't have been further from the truth. In that meeting, we gave Ryan our blessings to enter seminary, and that January he did. I will never forget the day we dropped him off. Father Becker met us at the door, and he said, Ryan is going to become one of two things, a really good husband or a really good priest. It was amazing to watch Ryan turn from being so unhappy to totally joyful. At St. John Vianney, his life was structured. He learned to pray, to serve others, and have a deeper loving for the Lord. He matured, and he had more brothers than he could count. As a child, I often worried about Ryan with two younger sisters. I felt and often said he was stuck in a baby girl world. There at SJV, he finally had brothers. He loved life so much that on the one weekend free each month that they were allowed to leave seminary, he would go to the home of his brothers or come and stay at the rectory in St. Michael. We didn't get to see him. He so loved that fraternity that he wanted to be with his brothers on his weekends off. Steve and I would laugh because we would run into people and they would say, oh, we just saw Ryan this past weekend in St. Michael. Oh, we didn't know he was here. The trend continued all the way through seminary. I often say to Steve, he has the busiest social life of anyone I've ever met. When he was younger and went to ECFE classes, they asked the parents, what do you want most for your child? My response was simple, happiness. As a mother, I know in my heart he found that happiness at SJV. As a mother of a seminarian, I also have had a journey. People often ask me, do you feel bad that he will not carry on the family name or have children of his own? My honest answer was no. But there was something tugging at my heart. As a hospice nurse for the last 13 years, knowing the end of life is so beautiful, what was weighing on my heart was that I didn't want him to die alone. Since he wouldn't have a family of his own, I didn't want him to pass away without love surrounding him. I cried a lot and prayed about it. I was really struggling with this until we attended Father Bear's funeral in January of 2018 at the cathedral. It was a cold, snowy day and the roads were not the best. The cathedral was packed like it was today. So many people were there that loved Father Bear. And it was that day that the weight of my worry was lifted from me. I knew that Ryan would be loved and that he would never die alone. I walked out of the cathedral that day and said to Steve, I'm 1,000% okay with what Ryan discerns. It has been such a pivotal moment in my journey that I carry Father Bear's prayer card from his funeral with my rosary. From that day, I have been Father Ryan's biggest discernment cheerleader. Both seminaries, St. John Vianney and St. Paul Seminary, have been so wonderful in forming these men. It's so amazing to see the transformation that happens. These men radiate love for the Lord and their fellow neighbor. They're very prayerful and so joyful. If you ever have a chance to visit the seminary, I would recommend it. When you walk in, you immediately feel the joy in these spaces. Steve and I have laughed through the years that the men are so joyful that they're like Santa's elves. So full of happiness and love for what they're doing. The experiences Father Ryan has been able to experience have been so incredible. He's seen so much of the world and in places I will likely never see. From studying a semester in Rome and meeting Pope Francis, to visiting lepers in India, praying the rosary at a deathbed of a man at St. Teresa of Calcutta's hospice, and attending Mass in a literal garbage dump in Mexico. These men are blessed to have these experiences so they can fully understand more of the world we live in and how to share their love for the Lord with the people of the world. I share these stories and experiences because it makes me sad to think that Father Ryan almost missed out on the beautifully amazing fruits that come with discernment because of my lack of understanding. If you have a son or know of a man that feels the call to discern priesthood, don't be afraid. Educate yourself, meet with others, meet with the vocations director. As a parent, you will be blessed beyond measure watching your son go through this process. We raised Ryan. We taught Ryan many things. Today, Ryan teaches us what is most important in life. Lastly, I would like to congratulate Father Ryan. My heart is so happy, and I'm honored to call him my son. Know that you are always welcome in my home, and you can come there and be just my son. And remember, I always tell him, you don't have to ask, just come home. I love you, Father Ryan.